What embarrassing thing have you done that you're actually really proud of? When my university announced a new dry campus policy banning alcohol in all dorms, including for students over 21, I accidentally discovered the most ridiculous loophole ever and became a campus legend. I was a 22-year-old senior living in West Hall when they dropped this ban 2 weeks before fall semester. The policy was pushed by our new dean, Barbara Fletcher, who spent the summer giving interviews about promoting a healthier campus culture. The thing is, I wasn't some party animal. I just enjoyed having a glass of wine while doing homework or sharing a few beers with friends on movie nights. Now they were treating legal adults like children. My roommate Gary and I read through the 42-page policy handbook looking for exceptions. That's when we found it, buried in the definitions section. Alcoholic beverages are defined as any drink containing ethanol for consumption. I almost missed the significance until Gary, a chemistry major, started laughing hysterically. Dude, they specifically said ethanol. They didn't mention any other alcohols. Turns out there are other types of drinking alcohol besides ethanol. The most common is propanol, which is what they use in rubbing alcohol. But there's also butanol, which is what gives some fruits their boozy smell. Gary explained that certain types of butanol are totally safe to drink in small amounts. In fact, some fancy European liquors use it. The police breathalyzer and standard alcohol tests only detect ethanol. We spent the next week in the chemistry lab. Gary was a teaching assistant, experimenting with different formulas. By mid-September, we created a completely ethanol-free wine using butanol that tasted surprisingly decent. Word spread quickly. Soon, we had a solid business going. Students would give us empty wine bottles. We'd fill them with our special blend and reseal them perfectly. We called it Fletcher's Reserve. As a joke, the RAs were powerless. They'd confiscate bottles during room checks, test them for ethanol, find nothing, and have to return them. Some RAs even became customers. Ian Fletcher was losing her mind. Room inspections increased. She hired outside labs to test confiscated bottles, but they all came back negative for ethanol because technically we weren't breaking any rules. By November, Fletcher's Reserve was everywhere. Students would openly drink it at campus events. Someone even sent Dean Fletcher a Christmas gift basket with our wine. The breaking point came during Parents' Weekend. At the dean's reception, half the parents were drinking our wine, complimenting the school on their unique house blend. Dean Fletcher finally called me to her office. She knew I was behind it but couldn't prove anything. The conversation was priceless. This mockery of school policy has to stop. What mockery? We're following the rules exactly as written. You know very well what you're doing. Making juice? There's no ethanol in it. Your labs confirm that. She slammed her hand on her desk. Fine. How much to make this go away? I smiled. The dry campus policy for students over 21. Absolutely not. Okay. By the way, my uncle's a reporter for the city paper. He'd love to hear how the dean is trying to bribe students. She turned pale. 2 days later, the school announced they were revising the alcohol policy. Students over 21 could have alcohol in their rooms, but with new monitoring systems. I immediately shut down production of Fletcher's Reserve. We'd made our point.